Maintaining a luxury vehicle can cost thousands, unless you drive a BMW. We're the only luxury brand that lets you pay nothing for maintenance for 4 years or 50,000 miles.
One of the NBA's best shooters stuck a dagger in the Thunder's heart. I'm Mike Sherman, and this is the Jackie Cooper BMW postgame show following the Thunder's 105-103 loss to Minnesota. This is Mike Baldwin, beat writer for the Oklahoman for the Thunder, and Mike Miller, one of the NBA's best shooters, knocked a key jumper down with 0.1 seconds left. What happened on that last play?
Well, Damian Wilkins is starting in the starting lineup now. We wasn't playing much in the second half, so some of us were a little curious that he's inserted in the game late. Chris Wilcox, who has a heck of a fourth quarter, really carries the team on his back for 7 or 8 possessions, fouls out, so Coach Brooks has to start figuring out who he wants out there. He has Wilkins out the last possession, too. He gets Wilkins up in there with a pump fake, wide open 12-foot baseline, hits it after the Thunder tied it on a Durant dunk with 3 seconds to go in regulation. I mean, a lot of layers to this game. Anytime it's a last-second game like that, they get down 9 after 3 quarters. They fight back, actually lead 101-100 with 20-some seconds to go. It looks like they may pull out another one against Minnesota, their only win like they did earlier in the season. The crowd's getting into it. But then, lo and behold, Minnesota made some key plays down the stretch. The Thunder missed a key free throw or two, didn't have that quite defensive stop. It's one of those coin tosses, could have gone either way, but one of the best shooters, like you said, got open at the end, hit the game winner at the buzzer.
Let's talk about some of the layers of this game. On offense, the Thunder looked strong most of the game. And as you said, the reemergence of Chris Wilcox as a low-post scoring threat, and really that opened up a lot of things.
Well, he was almost like Shaq tonight. I mean, they cleared out plays, go one-on-one with Jefferson, one of the best big men in the league. Remember, they rested Shaq here because he's going against Jefferson the next night in Minnesota. That's how much they respected Jefferson. Wilcox does both ends, defensive end and offensive end. He is 6 of 8 from the field in the fourth quarter, scores, I think, 15 of his 21 points in the fourth quarter. There was 5 straight possessions they just cleared out. He put them on their back to get them back in the game. That was definitely one of the positives. That and 23 assists tonight. They keep the spacing, sharing the ball is improving under Brooks.
Key defensive play late in the game. The ball goes into Jefferson. It looks like Wilcox has knocked the ball away. He's whistled for his 6th foul, and that's it. And then all of a sudden, you're scuffling a little bit to defend the Timberwolves.
Well, that's one of those, when you nitpick, that's where the Thunder coaches and the fans that were here, like, what was it, 800 short of a sellout again, by the way. The crowd is 10th or 11th in the league. That's one of those little subliminal things we throw in there. It goes either way. If they don't make the call, the Thunder has the ball in a tie game. Instead, they have to foul. Minnesota puts them up there. One of the other things in postgame I thought was very important, though, was they had a game similar to this against the Suns earlier this week. They had a 16-point lead. Nash wheels them back, wins the game. It's a heartbreaker. The next night, they lay an egg in Cleveland. Everybody in there said this is a frustrating loss. The losing streak is now 14. They desperately need a win, but they said we cannot do what we did earlier in the week, the players and coaches said, and that's let this game affect tomorrow night's game in Memphis, because Memphis is okay, but they're one of the worst teams in the league. It's a winnable game, so they're saying as hard as it is, as frustrating as this is, we got to go to Memphis tomorrow night, the first of a 4-game road streak, the longest road trip of the season, even though it's stretched out over a week. They're trying to be bound and determined not to let this one carry over, but that's easier said than done. This was a heartbreaker.
The carryover in Cleveland was a devastating loss. They were behind 42 points, but they were probably not going to beat Cleveland and LeBron James one night after the Knicks fans gave him a garden party in New York. This next game against Memphis is a winnable game, even though it is in Memphis.
And they desperately need a win. We're going to start looking up records. What are the longest losing streaks in NBA history? They're at 14 now. They're probably getting somewhere near that. We're going to start looking up those stats. This is a team desperately needs a win, whether it's tomorrow, but it is 4 straight road games now. They've had 10 home games, only won 1 of them. So this team is showing some improvement in a lot of areas, but until that shows up with a W, this team is still going to be frustrated.
That's all for the Jackie Cooper BMW postgame show, where tonight the Minnesota Timberwolves take down the Thunder 105-103. I'm Mike Sherman. This is Mike Baldwin. Stay with the best coverage team anywhere, every day at newsok.com and in the new look Oklahoman.